Hey guys, it's JJ. Welcome back to the Texans franchise, where we are going to have a playoff game today, the AFC Championship game. And we have an upgrade here for Derek Stingley, who has been absolutely locked down this season. Great season, leading the league in interceptions, one of the best corners, and the quarterbacks just kept targeting him even though he had blanket coverage. And yeah, they definitely should not have done that. We have an upgrade for Byron Redmond as well, who is flying all over the field. He's not really the one player that is going to catch a whole lot of interceptions, but he's flying around. He's making TFLs, covering deep down the field. We have an upgrade for Ryan Springs as well, who is... this season has been a little bit more quiet. His rookie year was absolutely a blast. This one is a little bit more quiet. Matthew Starks was the one guy that led the team in sacks this year. But Starks is injured now, and he's not going to come back this season. And so Ryan Springs has to step it up this time around. Jamie Cantu getting an upgrade. He also has been developing nicely. And we have an injury for this game as well. Elijah Blaylock is going to be out with a dislocated wrist. But we have our 3 starting defensive tackles still in. So I think we're going to be fine. First off, let's take a look at some of these games here. Last week we won by 2 points against the Titans. That was a really close game. And the Bengals lost out, gave up a 2-score advantage in the fourth quarter to the Chiefs. And yeah, Patrick Mahomes tossing 4 touchdowns, Joe Burrow throwing 2 picks. Well, that's just not a great look. And yeah, we're gonna be facing Mahomes today. And with that form, I think it's gonna be very hard to stop him. But yeah, his favorite targets, Jarvis Landry had 103 yards, and Matthew Hebert also had 103 yards, combining for 3 touchdowns as well. And then one more touchdown for Brandon Cooks, who is going to have a revenge game against us. And this is exactly why I traded him there. The Chiefs are a championship caliber team, but they did not have a number 1 wideout. And just overall wise, he is the number 1 wideout there. And yeah, Justin Reed also is going to have a revenge game. He is also an ex-Texan. 2 interceptions in this game against the Bengals. Really have to pay attention to what we're doing today. And we'll see how the cookie crumbles. Let's look at the NFC. We have the divisional matchup here. Buccaneers win the 1 seed against Chicago Bears. And Rick Richter, who did not turn over the football, but it just was not enough. Tampa Bay was consistent with their effort, and Tyson Clark tossed 4 touchdowns and 306 yards. So yeah, I think this was a pretty easy win actually for the Bucs. They had the more successful ground game, and through the air, Odell Beckham 106 yards and 1 touchdown, but the Bucs just spread the ball around. Lazard with 95, Boyle 82, Chris Godwin 78, and 3 touchdowns. Like, Chris Godwin is going to be an issue, I know for sure. This guy is way too good. And then Vita Vea and Ben Bullard combined on a blitz for a sack. And no interceptions in this game by both quarterbacks. We had also no fumbles. This is just a regular game where the Buccaneers were the better team. And then in the second game, we have the Panthers winning against New York, again with a very decisive victory, again putting up more than 40 points, absolutely dominating this team. And yeah, Nick Norris with another dominant performance. Tom Brady still well played, 2 touchdowns, no picks, had a good completion percentage, but Nick Norris just slinging it around. He has been absolutely lights out on this playoff run. And Saquon Barkley 110 and 2 touchdowns was not enough. It's instead Christian McCaffrey with 81 yards and 2 touchdowns, who is the one winning this game. But Saquon had a very big touchdown in there with those 110 yards, so that's why his numbers seem kind of inflated. Devontae Beal, 113 yards for the Panthers. And then Nico Collins, the ex-Texan, with a 2-touchdown performance for Tom Brady. Gabe Davis, Christian McCaffrey both had close to 100 yards for Carolina. And the number 1 wideout there, DJ Moore, didn't even have to do a whole lot. Still scored a touchdown, just like Tommy Tremble did. And then sack-wise, yeah, we're going to have to face a pretty tough defense now. Yetur Gross-Matos and Cordell Dobson combined for 2 sacks. And then Caden Stearns and Matt Bradley on a probably designed dime blitz package, something like that. And now we have a Buccaneers-Panthers NFC Championship game. So there's something really interesting happening. But let's go to the matchup today. We have Patrick Mahomes, 99 throw power, all the accuracies above 95. Still is an awesome quarterback, the best in the league actually at 99 overall. We have Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the backfield, who is really not one of the best running backs in the game, but he sure can do some damage. He can catch the football, he can break some tackles and juke out people. He's very shifty. And then they've also got Leslie Frazier, who in my opinion should be the lead back of this team. 95 speed, and he's even more elusive than Clyde Edwards-Helaire, in my opinion. Their lead receiver is Brandon Cooks, 31-year-old receiver, deep threat of the Texans, formerly known. And 92 speed is still pretty good for this deep threat. He can still run some routes. He can still make some pretty great catches down the field. So Brandon Cooks, watch out for him. Sky Moore, still there. Still a pretty explosive guy. He did not have the top end speed to take the top of the defense, but he can catch a football for sure, and I think he's a very fine slot receiver. Jarvis Landry, another slot receiver. He is aging though, and his speed has kind of regressed a little. Still a good slot receiver. He can still run some routes and catch the football. And then as the tight end, they have CJ Uzama with, at 32 years old, but he has a forearm fracture. He's going to be out this week. He's going to come back for the Super Bowl if they make it there. Matthew Hebert is instead the guy there, and he has average speed, average catching abilities. Not a really good route runner, and his blocking looks pretty bad, I gotta say. This offensive line with Orlando Brown there, they have Joe Thuney, and I gotta say this is pretty impressive. Creed Humphrey is even better than the first two guys, and then Trey Smith at right guard, and at right tackle they have a youngster here in Ty Irons, who also, by the way, looks pretty sharp. So I don't think he's bad. He's just a worse player in this offensive line, but this offensive line overall is pretty great, I gotta say, man. And Ty Irons is a really good pass protector. It does not even matter that he can't run block, because the Texans are gonna have to expect a lot of throwing out of Mahomes. So the defense for the Chiefs does not look all that great. I think George Karlaftis is one of the main men to watch out for. He has really good power moves. Chris Jones is the biggest threat there in the interior. 93 overall, has really good power moves at 97. He can block shed at 93, and he can rush the passer with finesse as well. Their linebackers seem pretty great though. So they have Brian Fender, a really fast linebacker with only run stopping upside. His coverage is pretty bad. Nick Bolton is the middle linebacker. He's the Mike. He's the chief of this defense, and he has not all that much athleticism, but he can stop the run for sure, and his zone coverage is pretty solid. And then Harry Lynch they also got And he has also some pretty good athleticism, and he's a good coverage linebacker who can tackle, and that's what it's all about. His run defense is probably not going to be that good. Trent McDuffie is the #1 corner, and I'd say he's an average #1 corner in this league. He has really good athleticism and really good man cover ability. His press is not great, and his zone coverage is, I guess, adequate as well. L'Jarius Sneed is the #2 guy. I mean, you have kind of a 1A and 1B situation going on here. Those two outside corners seem pretty solid, and Sneed has some serious speed as well. And then you've got Jeff Okuda as the 3rd guy there. They signed him. He has adequate speed. He can press a little, and he's a solid man cover corner, I guess. But nothing special. I think you can throw at him. And then on the back end, they have D'Angelo Jackson with 89 speed and some good zone coverage. His run stopping ability is pretty bad, though, and his man coverage also pretty bad. So there's some mismatches to abuse there. Justin Reed is the strong safety on this team. Great speed. And his zone coverage is excellent. He knows how to get after the ball carrier. His tackling rating is pretty bad, though. So there's a little bit of stuff to see here, which you can abuse, which you can win on. That secondary is not without its faults, and the pass rush is really George Karlaftis is the main guy from the edge, and everybody else is kind of meh. I guess Van Ginkel might be kind of a threat, but you should be able to pass on this team, just like the Chiefs are gonna do on the Texans. I'm pretty sure they're gonna throw it all day long, because that running game is nothing spectacular at all. And so the Texans have to focus on the pass here. The coverage has to be good. We have Derek Stingley and Alex Day. I trust them that they can do their jobs. And we are going to see the offense up first for the Texans. We have Angelo Mendoza getting in on the action. He finished the season with 47 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, 5,500 yards. And yeah. You know what's gotta happen here. We have 11 personnel, and they are gonna run it, and that worked out perfectly. McKenzie with a 12-yard run to start off this game. That worked out pretty well. I'm a little bit concerned running it straight at Chris Jones, but we'll see. Mendoza, now they're gonna throw it, and it's gonna be a dump off here to Lincoln, who has no space. That's just a couple of yards. 3rd and 4 now for Mendoza. And he's gonna throw it one-on-one down the field, and he won his battle. Justin Ross into the end zone, 57-yard touchdown. Justin Ross, everybody. He is the guy. He is that guy. He beat him clean off the line, and no chance of recovering right there. That was pretty awful by, who's number 26? Is that that's not L'Jarius Sneed, right? Maybe it is L'Jarius Sneed. I have no idea. But beaten clean off the line. That was an awesome release. And it's 7-0 already. Patrick Mahomes, who had an awesome season as well. 43 touchdowns, 14 picks, and even more yardage than Angelo Mendoza. He had to throw it all year long, because that defense is just kind of average, if you think about it. 1st and 10, motion for Hebert, and they're gonna hand it. Oh no, they're not gonna hand it off, and that's a sack, but it is also going to be a face mask. Caleb, just knock him down. You don't have to take his face mask and his helmet off, you know. 1st and 10 after the penalty, and that was a horrible angle by Redmond, and Edwards-Helaire has a 20-yard run instead of a loss. Jeez, dude. Now, 1st and 10 from the 45. Mahomes has a handoff here, and that's Edwards-Helaire for another 1st down, 12 yards, moving the chains into Texans territory. That is almost the edge of field goal range. Now, a few yards, and they're in. And Mahomes has a man open. It's Brandon Cooks, and he's got the first down. 17 yards, his first throw on the day here. And Cooks is the one to receive it. They are kind of rubbing their nose in Brandon Cooks here. As Mahomes is going to sling it out again, and that is, I think that's got to be Matthew Hebert. First and goal from the 9, and Mahomes has an empty set here, and he's going to pass it outside, or lined up outside was Edwards-Helaire who hauls it in, and then that's a touchdown. It's Antoine Felton, who is, I think, the third running back. Kind of interesting play selection there for the Chiefs, but it worked out. 7-7 after the 2 opening drives, and then a 7-yard run for McKenzie. They go empty backfields, 2nd and 3, and that is Lincoln with the connection here, 5 yards. And now Mendoza has McKenzie back in the backfield, and he's going to run it to the outside, but there was never a whole lot space to go. 3rd and 9. Close bunch to the right, and Mendoza is just going to dump it off to Davenport, and he tries to turn the corner, and he fumbled it out of bounds, but 4th down anyway. You're going to go for it? This is your own territory here. From their own 40-yard line, Mendoza is going to go for it, and he should have better ran it himself, because that was a horrible decision, and we have an injury on the play. That was a worst case scenario here. -2 yards for Cordova on that reception. That was a terrible throw. And if he had just like fallen ahead, he would have gotten the first down. Edwards-Helaire taken down after a couple of yards. 2nd and 8 coming up. Bruised ribs here for Greg Springs. I think we're going to put in the backup here in Mark Glowinski and just deal with it. 2nd and 8 for Mahomes, and he's going to throw it over the middle, and that is Sky Moore with a first down. 1st and 10 for Mahomes. He's going to dump it off over the middle again, and Sky Moore, this time he can't hang on. Alex Day right there to defend it. 3rd and 8 for Mahomes, and he's going to throw it out of bounds, chucking it way out there. 4th down. And this is a 50-yard field goal try. It's Harrison Butker, and that one is right down the middle. 1st and 10 with about 2 minutes left in this first quarter, and McKenzie is just following his blockers straight ahead. Gets 7. 3rd and 1 coming up now. Handoff, and McKenzie nowhere to go, and that is Chris Jones, everybody. 4th down. That was pretty awful blocking there. Can't let him run free like that. And now they punt it back, and Brandon Cooks is the next receiver to catch a football here. 16 yards. 1st and 10 coming up. Close bunch to the left. And Mahomes has lots of time, and he decides to dump it off to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And that's 6 yards. 2nd and 5 coming up here for Edwards-Helaire. 4-man pressure. And again, Mahomes has time all day long. 11 yards for that catch and run here for Edwards-Helaire. And they are going to go into Texans territory now with the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 8 now from the 43. But that's a play action shot for Mahomes. And everything's covered. And he's just going to dump it out of bounds. 3rd and 8 after the throwaway. Mahomes has again a clean pocket and sidearms it here to the tight end. That is Matthew Hebert, and a first down. Close to the red zone now. 2nd and 10. Mahomes again clean pocket for an hour, and he dumps it off again underneath here to Brandon Cooks, who has already like 4 catches or something. 3rd and 2. 11 personnel. Mahomes still not pressured. Wide open is Brandon Cooks. They're dink and dunking their way down the field, and Mahomes has an hour time to throw every single time. Brandon Cooks down to the 1. Now goal line personnel in. And that's a play action shot, and there's a fumble, and they are gonna pick it up. Edwards-Helaire into the end zone. Touchdown Chiefs, and this is a horrible sight for this Texans defense. This drive was awful. And they finally do not fall for anything. They force the fumble. 2 people are right there to pick it up. And what is happening? Edwards-Helaire picks it up and puts it into the end zone. Are you kidding me? 2nd and 9 for Lincoln. Reception is made 9 yards. First down. convert here and move on to the next one. Fullback in the game, Andy Janovich now. 1st and 10, and that's going to be a handoff to McKenzie, but there is absolutely nowhere to go. 3rd and 9 for Angelo Mendoza, and he has lots of time. He gets it away, and he throws almost an interception. 4th down. Oh, that was a pretty bad decision there. 1st and 10, play action shot for Mahomes, and he's going to get it away. And this is Alex Day with the interception. Oh my. You just erase another driving opportunity for Patrick Mahomes, who already has a 10-point advantage here. Pressure applied by Martin Monroe. Finally, some pressure happening, and Alex Day is just going to knock it away and catch it off Brandon Cook's back. And beautiful stuff there. Short field now from the Texas 49. Mendoza is going to get it away, and Davenport has just a few yards. 2nd and 4 coming up, handing it off to McKenzie, and now finally a rushing lane here, and he's got the 1st down, 14 yards, converting it into field goal range now. So you got to get points off this drive, man. No matter what, you got to get points, because this 10-point deficit is a pretty huge bummer, as A.J. Lincoln just screwed over 2 tacklers. 13 yards and a 1st down on that one, kind of shoving away the first one, and then the second one kind of misses on the back juke, I guess. Awesome play by Lincoln. 1st and 10, Angelo Mendoza, and he is going to throw it short to A.J. Lincoln, who breaks another tackle. Man, this guy can do some stuff. 9 yards, 2nd and 1, handoff to McKenzie up the middle, and he's going to just bulldoze his way into the end zone. It's a Texans touchdown off the Alex Day interception. And how much value does that interception hold now? Because instead of a 3-score lead for Patrick Mahomes, it is now a 3-point game. And that was a pretty awesome drive as well for Angelo Mendoza. 1st and 10 for Patrick Mahomes from his own 18-yard line, and he has an hour time, but receiver is covered. Alex Day breaks it up. 3rd and 7 after a 3-yard run and 2nd down. And Pat Mahomes is going to throw it short, and that is also incomplete. Not caught. 4th down. And now, 3-point lead. Angelo Mendoza has the football with great field position. Pressure coming in. Mendoza! It's falling incomplete. 3rd down and 10 coming up. And now you have press on Justin Ross. And again, Justin Ross beat him clean off the line, but the pressure was coming in too fast. There was a wide open touchdown downfield, and that is an incompletion and a punt back to the Chiefs from their own 23-yard line, and he's just going to chuck this to the sideline, but Alex Day is going to prevent the catch here. 3rd and 10 for Mahomes. Pressure is not coming. He should just run it himself, and he does. He takes off, and he has lots of green grass. And he fumbles it away! That would have been like a 22-yard run. And he falls back on it. But that fumble was pretty costly, I gotta tell you, man. That was a horrible decision to take the contact like that. Coverage was excellent, but like at some point you have to create some pressure, man. And then the hit is coming in here for Caleb Burgess. And, yeah, that's pretty disappointing. From their own 49 now, Patrick Mahomes. And he is going to be sacked, finally. It has taken forever. And it also, this time, is going to be a coverage sack. It's not a pure pass rush sack. But Javon Kinlaw, finally, somebody doing something. And 3rd and 14, and they're just going to dump it off to the running back here, and that is at the 50. So 67-yard field goal try? I don't think so. They are going to punt it back. Great punt down to the 8, and Mendoza is going to have his main man from the slot, A.J. Lincoln, the great connection, and they are going to go hurry up on this one. Mendoza is going to throw it over the middle, and Devian Davenport breaks a tackle and falls ahead, creates a little bit extra yardage, and they are going to take the timeout now at the 38. And now you got to get out of bounds because there's no timeouts left for the Texans. And Lincoln has another catch, but it does not matter because he is stopped in bounds. And I don't think this is going to be enough time here. Yes, time runs out. And 3-point lead for the Chiefs at halftime. This is a very close game. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe, ring the bell for notification. We have a really close game on our hands here. And we do not know if Carolina is going to win that game or if it's going to be Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. Really excited to find out. But right now, it's going to be the Houston Texans here having to play from behind. And Mahomes gets the ball back after halftime, and Edwards-Helaire does not get anywhere. That is a TFL. 3rd and 11 for Patrick Mahomes. And he has, again, a clean pocket for a long time, but coverage is excellent. And they are going to take him down there. Grover Stewart, first one on the action, and Ryan Springs helps with push. So that is finally a punt back to the Texans, and good field position again for Mendoza, and the pressure is coming in. McKenzie picks it up, and there is only one man to beat for Ross, and he can't make a miss. He's just not really the guy to break the tackles. Mendoza is going to have an open man here, and Diego Cordova, and that is a huge conversion. 20 yards to the tight end. And actually 15 yards, not 20. And first down and 10 now from the edge of field goal range. Motion for Devian Davenport. And Mendoza is going to get it away on time, but Mendoza is going to dump it short here to Davenport. 3rd and 6 coming up now, and the pressure is coming in again, and he throws it right into the blitz. Perfect. Cordova with an 11-yard catch, and that's a first down as well. And now the Texans are kind of getting the momentum on their side. And he's going to hand it off to McKenzie, and everything's empty in the end zone. Touchdown, McKenzie. Texans are taking the lead. It's a 21-17 game. And McKenzie had a beautiful run there set up by his offensive line. 1st and 10, and they are going to throw it to Matthew Hebert here, 7 yards. And now 2nd and 3 coming up. Edwards-Helaire gets the football, and he breaks a TFL there. And gets the first down. That's about 5 yards. Beautiful stuff by Edwards-Helaire there. 1st and 10 for Mahomes, and he has some time. He's going to dump it to the outside, and that's going to be a short pickup of about 7 yards. 2nd and 3 coming up. Empty backfield now for Patrick Mahomes. 2nd and 3. This is a conversion as well to Matthew Hebert. He's got the first down. 1st and 10 now. Mahomes with a play action shot, and somebody was not falling for it at all. And that guy was Martin Monroe and Byron Redman, who both were in the backfield in absolutely no time. Redman, you can see beautifully how Martin Monroe beat his tackle off the line, and the fumble was forced. Redman falls on it, and the Texans have a prime opportunity to win this game as Devian Davenport hauls it in 31 yards. And that was some beautiful catch here, and just for a good measure, he's just going to fall down once again. Davenport with a nice catch there, getting it off like the 3rd floor or something. That was something else. Just no shot for the corner to get there at all. 6'5" frame for Davenport there. And now McKenzie, nowhere to go, a couple of yards. That's it. 3rd and goal now for Angelo Mendoza, and he has somebody in the end zone, and it is going to be intercepted. No, you had a prime opportunity to just take the lead and extend it by another score, but Harry Lynch is going to pick it off here. Mendoza thinks he has a one-on-one in the end zone, but he should have thrown it higher. That was thrown too low, and it's going to be deflected away right into the hands of the linebacker. So, yeah, Edwards-Helaire with a great running opportunity here, and he fumbles it away too! This is Javon Kinlaw on the recovery. I hope this is going to stand. This looked kind of close. But huge fumble if it stands. And yeah, I have no idea. You can't see anything. Yes, it's a fumble. It's a clear-cut fumble. And that one is going to stand. Great field position. Fullback in the game, and they brought the house. Oh, no, that was bad. Bad loss for McKenzie. They brought the house on that blitz. 3rd and 11. Mendoza, and he beat him clean off the line again, and that's another catch for Justin Ross. 23 yards, and down inside the 5. Now, can you finally finish this game where in the second half, I think you gotta go up by 2 scores and kind of turn out the lights for Kansas City. This is to end the 3rd quarter. Handoff to McKenzie, and he's gonna run it in. Touchdown, Texans. And now it's a 2-score lead. 11-point game, baby. Kansas City, now it's time to shine. And this is when Patrick Mahomes plays his best. And he's gonna throw this one deep downfield, and Derek Stingley just knocks him out of bounds. 3rd and 10 was blanket coverage as well. And Mahomes has lots of time, and this one is underthrown, and now it's Derek Stingley on blanket coverage again. And he's going to take it away, and that's an interception for Derek Stingley. Yet another one. And we already had a great pick by Alex Day in the beginning of this game. Like, these two corners are not messing around at all, but great pass rush there. Pressure applied, and that throw was underthrown by a mile. And even if he had put it on the money, Derek Stingley was right there to cover him. Jarvis Landry, I didn't think he had a shot. 2nd and 9, Mendoza has a prime opportunity to go score, and this is McKenzie with the catch, who has been a prime receiving back for this team as well. That's something that Dameon Pierce was not able to do. He had a few drops every game, or I mean a couple of drops every game, I guess, and that amounted to a few 3-and-outs and stuff. But 3rd and 8 now for Mendoza. Gonna get it away, but pressure was coming in too quickly, and that is gonna end the drive. Field goal added on, so we get points off the turnover, and now Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He has a huge rushing lane there, 13 yards after the redirection, and they are gonna move the chains here down to their own 40-yard line. And Patrick Mahomes has a clean pocket again and an open receiver. It's Brandon Cooks with another catch. Great stuff here. Alex A was right there. Just at the last second, he kind of lost him. He looked at the quarterback and thought he was going to pick it off there. And he could have if he just had stayed with the routes. But no, not happening. And Edwards-Helaire gets 8 yards on that catch. 2nd and 2. 2 tight ends to the right. And he has Brandon Cooks yet again. And Alex Day is kind of having trouble to keep up with Brandon Cooks. I'm kind of surprised. 1st and 10 for Mahomes, and he has his open tight end. It's Matthew Hebert, 10 yards, 1st down, moving the chains again. And this is how Mahomes operates. He's down by 2 touchdowns, and now he's going to scramble. You got to make a decision at some point, man. He's going to throw it away, live to see another down. 2nd and 10 coming up, but there is an injury on the play. It's Javon Kinlaw, and he's going to exit into the locker room, so we're going to see a lot more of Stallworth now. 2nd and 10 for Mahomes, and he got it away just in time. He was going to be sacked in no time. 3rd and 2, goal line personnel, and they're going to hand it off to Edwards-Helaire, who fights ahead, and he somehow got the touchdown. I can't believe it. He fought off 3 tacklers to get that touchdown. I cannot believe it. So now it's a 1-score game. Chiefs, can you do it? Can you stop this Texans offense? Or are you going to go down again? Angelo Mendoza is now the guy to look at. He is going to have to orchestrate a drive, as Christian Harris is the one mainly responsible for that touchdown. Yeah, I'm done with Christian Harris. He is just not good. He is just horrible. Like, he does not do anything. 1st and 10 for Mendoza, and they are going to open it up throwing, as A.J. Lincoln absorbs the hit, gets 9 yards. And also this game, just like last episode, we had 2 teams with top 10 pass rushes in this league, and both of those teams have not had any sacks at all. 7 yards here for Lincoln, again, 1st down. 2nd and 7 for Mendoza on the out route, and that was a dangerous throw. You gotta put that lower. You can't make AJ Lincoln leap at that and absorb the head. 3rd and 7, and Corey Davis still catching a few passes here and there. 12 yards on this one. Get the first down. He's very reliable. 1st and 10. Motion for Davenport, and pressure coming in, and that's an interception. He thought he had an open man there. Devian Davenport, he saw the 6-man pressure coming in, but somebody was just waiting on that interception there over the middle. Oh man, was kind of overthrown as well. That was a pretty horrible throw. Now 7-point game for Mahomes, and he is going to be sacked. 3 people take him down, and I think the first one there was Johnny Buchanan. I cannot believe I see this guy there. But great play. Martin Monroe got there at the last second, and Ryan Springs also got loose. So that was pretty bad design there. But Mahomes still 3rd and 20. That's still a shot there with Mahomes. And he has his man, and he overthrows him. No, Brandon Cooks dropped it. It looked like an overthrow for a second there, and then Brandon Cooks just dropped it. He had a step as well, and this one's broken up by Caleb Burgess on 4th down and 20. And I think you just threw away the game there. Brandon Cooks is the one who should have made the catch. He had the first down, and now the Texans are going to run the clock out. We're at the 2-minute warning, fullback in the game. 2nd and 12 after a 2-yard loss on that first down. But McKenzie gonna outrun defenders into the end zone. Touchdown, Texans. Oh, actually, that's not a touchdown. He slided too early. You're kidding. It's down at the 1-yard line, and an injury timeout taken by the Chiefs. But now he's got it. Touchdown, Texans. And that is going to seal this game. 24-38 now, and 2-score game. I don't think the Chiefs can recover from that, even though it's Patrick Mahomes. And you're certainly not gonna get back from that, from down 2 touchdowns if you're throwing for 7-yard passes here. Like, you gotta put it downfield. You gotta risk something here if you want to get down the field in time to maybe get the ball back. As Mahomes is going to dump it off again here, and there's just nowhere to go. This coverage is unbeatable. This offensive line is great for the Chiefs, and they have held Patrick Mahomes clean for a long time in this game. But at some point, coverage, yeah, you got to beat the coverage as a receiver. You got to have the routes, and they just don't. 4th down and inches now. After another incompletion forced, they hand it off to the fullback, and that's Neighbors, and he's got the first down. 1st and 10 now for Mahomes. Can you get at least a touchdown? Let's see. Dump it off again, and that's broken up by Christian Harris. Finally, somebody's doing something. 2nd and 10, Mahomes. Now it's a Hail Mary shot, and, well, I guess it at least looks like a Hail Mary shot. And he's just going to throw it into the end zone. Let's see what happens, and that is actually going to be caught. Are you kidding me? They got the Hail Mary off. They got the Hail Mary off. Onside kick try, and the Texans were kind of sleeping. That is not an onside kick recovery formation, but Kendall Sheffield is going to end the game right here, and the game is over. 7-point win for the Texans. I do not know how they got the Hail Mary. That is ridiculous. If they hadn't thrown all these 7-yard passes, maybe you would have gotten the Hail Mary a lot earlier with a little bit of time to respond. Angelo Mendoza and Patrick Mahomes both threw 2 interceptions. That was not a great quarterback play on display here. And but Dakota McKenzie had a nice game. 4 touchdowns on the ground here, 120 yards. Great play. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they had success running the football on this defense, but they were down a little bit too much there in the second half, so they had to start throwing it. And Justin Ross, man, he beat his corner 3 times off the line cleanly, and that was awesome. Brandon Cooks had his revenge game, but the one drop at the end cost them the game, I think. If they score that touchdown right there, I think you're back in business. and you have a close game, you have a chance to win it if your defense plays well, you gotta haul it in at the end there. But alas, he didn't, and Monroe gets a sack, Cantu gets a sack, Javon Kinlaw gets a sack, Caleb Burgess gets a sack, Buchanan, Springs, Stewart, Redman all get half sacks. Yeah, in the end, the pressure was relentless on Patrick Mahomes just because the coverage was so damn good. Alex Day and Derek Stingley get 2 more picks. This is just a corner duo to fall in love with, man. And 5 forced fumbles in this game. Ryan Springs, Martin Monroe, Jamie Cantu, Byron Redman, and then for the Chiefs it was L'Jarius Sneed. But we forced a lot of fumbles today, man. Martin Monroe gets an upgrade. I think he has been playing pretty well, considering he's just a backup usually. But that performance in the last game, where he stopped the 2-point conversion tries, and this episode as well, he got in there. He had his fair share of pressures there. And then Dakota McKenzie gets an upgrade. We're going to put that into power back. I want to have as many +2 break tackles as I can get from these upgrades, man. His break tackle rating's got to go up even higher. And his trucking rating is 91. I love it already. This guy's going to be really good. And yeah, Dakota McKenzie obviously winning player of the week here with a 120 yards, 4 touchdown performance. And he even got a nice reception to through the air, 19 yards there. So almost 150 from scrimmage, combining with 4 touchdowns. And in the NFC, it also was a pretty close game. The Buccaneers pulled it off at the end. It's Tyson Clark in the Super Bowl, and Nick Norris going home after putting up 87 points in 2 games on these NFC teams. But sadly, can't win them all, and we're going to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more Texans franchise. See you in the next episode. Until then, spread some love.